Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. LOB.
All right, and Joe, back over to you.
Very upset with Crabtree. That was Richard Sherman of the Seattle Seahawks in an epic sideline meltdown following Sunday night's big game. He quickly became the big story Monday as people criticized his behavior, with some suggesting that he acted like a, quote, thug. Today, Sherman fired back.
Of all the backlash, the word thug, does that bother you more than any?
The only reason it bothers me is because it seems like it's the accepted way of calling somebody the N-word nowadays. You know, it's like everybody else said the N-word, and then they say thug, and they're like, oh, that's fine. And that's where it's kind of, you know, it kind of takes me aback, and it's kind of disappointing because they know what's the definition of a thug, really.
Joining us now, our power panel. Monica Crowley is a Fox News contributor. Bernard Whitman is a Democratic pollster and president of Whitman Insight Strategies. And Dagan McDowell is with the Fox Business Network. The definition of a thug he wants, which I have it here someplace, but in any event, Merriam-Webster, a violent criminal, a brutal ruffian or assassin, a gangster, or tough. Bernard?
L-O-B.
What does that mean?
Legions of Boom. It's the Seattle defense. I mean, and the truth is...
I thought he messed up L-O-L.
No, he is the farthest thing from the thug there is. He is the best cornerback in the NFL. Here's a guy who fought his way out of Compton to his Rush neighborhood.
But is thug racist? That's what he's trying to say.
Made it to Stanford, got overlooked in the NBA, in the NFL draft, then made the play of the game, the play of his life, going into the Super Bowl against and beating their #1 rivals. He's 30 seconds off of making the play of his life, and the answer is yes.
Yes, it is.
Whether thug is racially charged?
The way that it's been used in some ways by people on Twitter, for as an example, the context and the intent of it is definitely racially charged. Absolutely.
How so? Because when I actually wasn't surprised to see the definition of a thug include gangster, because that's how I always heard it. You know, you grow up watching Godfather. It's like the mafioso guys. You're like, that guy's a thug. Is that? But it could be a white guy or a black guy.
Because he comes from Compton, though, it has a very specific meaning to him. And again, you can use it. Some people use the N-word, and people don't take it as racist. But it depends on who it is. It depends on how they're saying it and the context of what they're saying. Some of the references I've seen, it's definitely racist.
Well, I mean, some of the references online are he's an N-word thug. I mean, those are pretty clear.
Right, and so those got conflated.
But the ones that just say he behaved like a thug, that term, thug behavior, connotes what?
He never should have raised this. Look, I saw the original interview. My jaw dropped. I said, what the bleep did I just see here? He spent every second since the end of that game and that interview trying to explain himself. And he's actually done a pretty good job of saying, look, I'm a passionate player. I'm on the way to the Super Bowl. I got overheated. He didn't quite apologize, but he went a long way toward explaining his behavior.
Why are we so obsessed with it?
So now,
why is this such a big deal?
No idea.
Hold on. Why ruin it by injecting race into this conversation?
The fans that hated him injected race in the conversation, the hateful things that they said on Twitter, and this guy stood out in the game and got attacked for it.
But I mean, why is this such a big deal? Truly, as somebody who doesn't follow sports except by osmosis, why is this such a big deal? You know, I hear it on the television and I say, what does that mean?
But I agree with you. I think that the reaction has been completely lopsided. Here is a passionate football player. He's a professional.
He just came off of an aggressive game where they hit each other, and Crabtree sounds like a jerk.
You know, he didn't even curse. I've reacted worse than this in the grocery store when somebody hits me with their car.
I wasn't going to raise it, but that is true.
And there's also some facts that aren't being said, which is right after that play was made and the game ended, he went up to Crabtree, offered him his hand, and said, you know, great game, and Crabtree refused to accept that acknowledgement. And so no wonder why he's pissed.
And that is my point, that from the end of the game and from the interview and all the controversy, he's actually handled this pretty well.
And he's benefiting from it. His jersey is now one of the top 10 selling jerseys.
That's exactly right. And he's going to the Super Bowl.
But you think he took a left turn on it today?
And he said, look, I made a mistake. I handled this wrong because it detracted from the achievement of my team in this game. So he did all the right things until this last comment, injecting race where it doesn't belong.
But you know what? A very good friend of mine said the exact same thing to me this morning about the use of the word thug. He said, I wish they'd stop using it. It makes me uncomfortable.
They should have said brutal ruffian.
Ruffian.
They should have said awesome cornerback.
Thank you for being here.